Something that annoys me a lot is all these people trying to sell LinkedIn posting automations on LinkedIn. So I'm just going to show you how to make one in an hour using Relevance.AI. So I've built one already, as you can see here. We can put the LinkedIn profile URL, post ID, sources, model post, which is optional, maximum word count, target audience, flash reading scale, which is how complex the language you use is. And you can even upload a video to get a transcript from. And then we get multiple post variants, in this case 4 different post angles and 4 different posts that you can use on your LinkedIn. Okay, so let's get started. So first thing you need to do is go to Relevance.AI and sign up. Log in, sign up, and then go to tools. You need to go to the tools section, and then in your case you create a new tool. But I've already made the LinkedIn poster, so I'm just going to show you the steps of the tool. So when you create the new tool, the first thing you need to do is add the inputs. In this case, we have multiple inputs. So the first input is the LinkedIn profile URL. So this should be your LinkedIn profile URL where the user can enter the URL of their profile. And we're going to use this to pull their previous posts and mimic their voice in the post we generate. Next thing is the post ID, which is some notes or some text, which they can enter to base the post off of. Then we have some external sources or URLs of websites that you can extract data from. Then model posts. So if you want to model your posts on someone else's posts, you can copy that post here. Another thing you can do is you can paste in someone else's URL other than your URL here, because that way, instead of mimicking your own voice, you're mimicking someone else's voice. This can be, I wouldn't do this personally, but some people may want to do this. Then we can also add maximum word count, target audience, flash reading scale, which is just something to determine the reading level, so the complexity of the words and the structure. And then finally, video recording, which is an optional extra feature, which we can add. I'll discuss this later. So these are the inputs. So you can create multiple input fields. Here, I'd recommend adding some nice variable names that make it easy to understand. Then the next thing we need to do is if the user uploaded the video, so we have this check here. If the file URL is not undefined, that means the user uploaded the video. Then we convert the video into text. So we get the video audio and convert it into text to get a transcript using the DeepGram model. And we save that in the file transcript JSON. Then this one here, this is some JavaScript code where we're just checking if there's actually some file transcript JSON data extracted. So if we actually extracted a video transcript or not. And if we have extracted the video transcript, so we checked if there was an actual file transcript JSON. If we have extracted the video transcript, then we need to do this JavaScript code to extract the transcript from the nested JSON object. So this can be quite complicated if you're not familiar with code, but you can just copy and paste this because what we're doing here is extracting the actual transcript from the nested JSON result, which has a lot of other information, such as channels, alternatives, and the other results. Okay, so now, up to now, all we've done is convert the video into audio, convert that audio into text through DeepGram to get a transcript, and then use some JavaScript to check if there's actually a transcript and extract the transcript if there is one. So it's important to know that if you don't upload the video, none of this is done. So if you don't need to do text video to post conversions, then you don't need to worry about these steps. Next thing is we paste in our LinkedIn URL and we get our profile. So what this is going to do is get your bio, your about section, your headline, so we can feed that into the model later. And we can also get our previous posts through the LinkedIn API. Then I need to add some JavaScript code here because sometimes if you don't have any posts, you need to return an empty list instead of undefined. So our next steps don't break when we try to iterate through the posts because we need to assume that the post sources is a list and we can't have it as undefined. So this is just a more technical aspect. So some JavaScript to make sure that we have a list and not undefined. Next, we iterate through the post. So you can see list loop over step, list to loop to step over, sorry. And we put in the list of posts. And the way you can add the loop is you click here and you'd say enable for loop. In this case, it says disable because I already got a for loop. You click here, enable for loop, and then you put in the variable here that you want to iterate over. Then for each website URL, you put the website URL here, and then we extract the HTML from the website. So we get the raw website content as text. Then we just combine all of the website text. So let's say we have page 1, then we have a separator here, and then page 2 text, and we just combine everything. Then we summarize all of the text from all the websites. Use GPT-4o Mini to basically get the text from all the websites, which requires quite a long, big context length to analyze all the text. Let's say you've got 2 websites, 2 complete websites. You analyze the text and then you summarize it using GPT-4o Mini to get a compressed summary. And we use a summarize step here. I can show you the node you need to do. It is transform data, summarize text. Use this node here, or you can use your own custom prompt to summarize the text. But I chose to just use this node to make it simple. And finally, we just combine everything and generate the final post. So first thing to know is I used the Claude 3.5 model. This was before 3.7 came out that I made this. So maybe now there's 3.7 available. Yeah, I'll change this to 3.7 right here as well, because I guess that'll be better. I chose Claude because Claude seems to write better than the OpenAI models. Although the GPT 3.5 just came out, 4.5 sorry, just came out, and that one may be better at writing posts. I need to try that out. So you can play around with the model, but that's a minor thing. The most important thing is the prompt. So first we have the persona. You're an expert post writer for LinkedIn, blah, blah, blah. So this is important to have the persona. You can customize this. For example, I said to use British English spelling. You can customize this for your language or use American spelling. Then we have guidelines. It's important to have a strong hook. In this case, I wanted to start my hooks with an emoji to break the pattern of the user and capture their attention. This is something you can customize as well, the guidelines. And then you put in your previous post examples here. So then in this step here, we're getting all the previous posts that we've collected in the previous step, and we're putting them here to give them to the model as context. We also give in our LinkedIn profile that we got before. So then we also give in the model posts that we got before. Then we have the role. We put in the post ID, research summary, file transcript if there's one, target audience, and maximum word count. So as you can see, all of the research we've done, all of the data we collected, all of the post ideas that we want to talk about, the video transcripts, we feed that all into the model. And then we get the model to use all of that information to generate the final output. And also the flash reading scale, we give the model a description of what the flash reading scale is, and then we give our value. And then finally, this is just some more extra guidelines. It's not making any information. And you also tell the model to generate multiple posts, telling them to vary the number of hashtags, the length of the post, the angle, the approach, and then that's it, and separate them with this. And so that's all we have for this automation. This is a medium level automation. It's not super complex, but it's also not simple. Some possible extensions to take this to the next level would be, so you fine tune your own model. Instead of using, let's say, Claude 3.5, you fine tune an OpenAI model through the fine tuning API, and you use that model. That'll make the text, I think, a lot better and more suited to your tone. But this requires some technical knowledge and technical skills to fine tune the model. Another possible extension would be to search the web automatically, so maybe add some perplexity steps to do some further research on its own, use some deep research API. And there's a lot more you can add, and the important thing is to customize it yourself. So this is why I think you should build this yourself and not buy it off someone else, because it's a relatively simple automation that anyone can do. And what's important is the customization and being able to change it, iterate on it, and improve it over time. If you find this helpful, please consider subscribing for more automations like this, completely for free, to help you take your productivity and personal brand to the next level.